What's up, YouTube? So I just wanted to do a little video on Uber Eats and what it really takes to be able to do it on a bicycle or do it Uber walk. Like, I do it in the car sometimes, but I prefer to do it in the bike or walking. And so I want to explain how I made 1,100 bucks in 1 week. That's right, 1,100 bucks. Some say, oh, that's not really possible. Well, it is possible if you put in the hours. And that's really what it takes, is putting in the hours. You know, so some people out there are maybe delivering for 4 hours or 2 hours at a time, but it really takes the 8 hours to 10 hours to really pull in that sort of money. And also too, sometimes I think I was making better money when the pandemic kind of started off and stuff like that, because everybody's really freaked out to leave the house. So the prices surged like crazy. But if you want to make that much money, then really what you got to do is be out there 8 hours a day, you know. And one of the big things that I like to do is be out there more at nighttime than during the day. Like, you want the surge prices, you want the hours between 5 and 9, because also you're going to get your points, your 6 points and stuff like that per delivery. And that's really where some of your benefits come in, you know. And so it's totally possible if you just stick with it and you put in the hours and try. The other thing too is, you know, if the food and all that stuff, you know, this is just a side thing. If the food and all that isn't ready, like just on time when you're wanting to leave, just grab it and go, you got to be patient. Don't give the restaurant a bunch of baloney just because you think they'll hurry up. Like, I see a lot of delivery drivers do that, and you just got to be really chill, be nice, try to be funny, be cool with the people, and you know, they'll get your food as fast as they can. You know, obviously they want to get you the stuff so you can get on and go do your thing and they can do their thing. The other thing is for Uber Walker and Uber Eats Walker and Uber Eats Bicycle. You know, one of the things that I have is a bag. You know, you gotta have a good way to carry it, you know. So these are some of the tools. I'm gonna show you a few of the tools that I carry with me each day whenever I'm doing deliveries, you know. Because for like this bag right here, you can carry up to an 18-inch pizza, which is pretty important, you know. And then I got this just off the line, and it zips right up, and you can extend it. Little extendo bag. You know. So you can just slide the pizza right in, and then put it on your back, and be able to carry it like a backpack. You know, it makes the job like 10 times easier, especially when you're on the bike, you know, because you got to have hands free. This bag has lasted around 2,000 deliveries, and I think I paid 35 bucks plus 10 bucks for shipping, so 45 bucks. And it's starting to wear out a little bit, as you can see right here, you know. But like I said, after 2,000 deliveries, you're gonna put a little wear and tear on the thing. And then some people probably saw inside there was another bag. And this bag I carry right here to carry the drinks in and stuff like that, because you're gonna get fountain drinks and you're gonna have all sorts of cans of soda, and you want a way to carry it and make it easy so that it doesn't, you know, flop around in the bag, you know, because inside the bag, this is what it looks like, you know. I mean, stuff will just rickety around. So I carry this bag so I can put a drink right here, or right here in the second spot. This thing right here, would I carry a little container so I can carry extra honey, because sometimes people want honey with their nuggets and stuff like that, you know. And soy sauce, because if you bring in Asian food and stuff, a lot of people want soy sauce with it. I got extra mayonnaise because people want mayo, and barbecue sauce, little barbecue sauce. This is kind of like my mixed little variety of condiments for them. And then extra forks. You know, the customers really like that, for you to be prepared and have some extra stuff, because sometimes they didn't get to ask the restaurant for that, or they forgot, or who knows, you know. But for you to have it, it really shows them that you care and that you want to. So yeah, little spoons, or this is a big spoon. This looks like a little ice cream spoon or something. And some straws, or I got one straw right now. And then toothpicks, I carry toothpicks with, because people want to keep their grill clean, you know. And so that's, you know, a big part of it. Oh yeah, and then the other side, here we go. Carry extra napkins. I should have a little container for that, I know. And then ketchup, hot sauce. Everybody loves some hot sauce, so you can either maybe grab some for the restaurants or order a box of it offline, off Amazon or something like that. And then some extra mustard. And then sometimes what I do is, if I have so many drinks, I'll just take this stuff out and then put more drinks right in here so that they don't flop around. But I really found it really key to have an extra bag with you so that you can, you know, carry more stuff and carry extras for the customers, you know. I can just kind of see it on their face if they're excited and they're smiling when you pull that out, you know. They're like, dude, this dude is prepared, you know. That's one of the tricks that I have for, you know, you want to be pleasing the customers so they'll tip you and stuff like that. You only have a few minutes when you're there. You're basically knocking on the door, dropping the food off, and then you're out, off to the next delivery. So if you can offer them a couple things, it gives you a better chance of, maybe instead of getting $1 tip, you might get a 5 or a 10, which, believe me, I'm surprised every time that I get a 5 or a $10 tip. The most tip I ever got was a $21.90 tip, and I was ecstatic. You know, I thought that I was king of the world, you know, getting that. And also, okay, for bikes, I don't have a crazy bike. I just have a regular old Schwinn, you know, that gets me around from point A to B. The other thing is, I don't know if hopefully you can see it, but on the top right here is for my phone. So I can put a cell phone up on there. Let me grab that. So I can just put it right in here. Boom. I can see it while I'm riding, and I'm good to go, you know, because I don't want to be looking around, have it in my pocket and all that. I like to be able to navigate where I'm going. I have my little bike light, you know, so people don't nail you on the bike, you know. It's good to have all that stuff. I do as well see people out there with no bikes or no lights on their bike, and I'm thinking, dude, you're gonna get nailed on that. But that's how some people do it. But I like to have it the front and the rear bike, or the rear light. And then the other tool that I have that I think is really a must is batteries, an extra battery, so that you can plug it in. You can plug your phone in while you're driving and delivering and stuff, because with your app open all the time, the juice gets sucked out of it super fast, especially if it's extremely hot or really cold. Your battery is just down to 0 super fast, and you don't want to stop delivering just because you didn't have a battery with you or something like that. So for this one, this is the Anchor, the Big Daddy, because I have another one too, but this is the one that I totally recommend if you really want to do 8 hours, 10 hours, maybe even a 12-hour shift out there, which I sometimes ride that much, you know. I don't know how I can keep going. Maybe I'm motivated by the money or something, but I can keep riding forever like the Energizer, you know. And this is the other battery that I carry with for an extra, just in case, you know. This is the small one. This is the small Anchor. It just seemed to only lasted me about an hour. You know, it didn't really work that well, but it was better than nothing when I first started. I wasn't sure exactly what tools I was gonna need, so that's some of the stuff that I wanted to grab and have. And I think if you're gonna be doing this, the big one is the way to go. I think it's the, I don't even know if it has it says Qualcomm 3.0 quick charger. But having the right tools makes you a happier person while you're working. You know, you want to be able to be prepared. The other thing I carry, gloves. You know, why? Because it rains out there, it gets cold. I mean, I was delivering even on the bike and doing walker when it was raining and snowing out, you know, when snow would be like up to my knees and I would still be trying to be out there delivering and stuff. Why? Because people tend to tip bigger when there's a big storm or something's going on. When you're like, I don't know if I really want to go to work today because it's raining, cats and dogs out there, that's when the people are really tipping, and you might get $7 a delivery plus tips. And so the pay seems to really add up. And the pay varies. Like, I'm here in Chicago, you know, so whether I'm on the north side up in Rogers Park versus if I'm downtown, I mean, there is a heck of a difference. You know, I might only get $3 a delivery when I'm up in the Rogers Park area or Edgewater or something like that. And it makes it not as worth it. But when I go downtown, I mean, man, they're giving you $3 extra on a delivery because it's maybe like a surge or there's like a high frequency of like people who are needing food at that moment, and maybe not a lot of deliveries, who knows. But downtown, I know that they pay better. Plus the delivery might be $6 plus the 3, that's 9. So that's 3 times the amount that I would be making up north. So that's another key, is looking on your map, finding where really is surging at the moment, you know. And let me see, like, if I can even show you, you know, real quick. You know, if I open up the app, you know, you should be able to, oh, it just kind of went away. All right, like right here, they're giving $2.50 extra, you know, plus a 1.1, which isn't bad, you know. I mean, I'm used to it down there. They're giving you 2.3 plus the $3 extra. You know, things add up. That's how you get up to the $1,100 in the week. I don't know if I'd said a day earlier, but it's $1,100 in a week, you know. But there was days that I made between $200 to $500, and it really, stuff starts adding up when you're making that, you know. So you want to basically pinpoint your area that you really like and try different spots. If like one area isn't doing well for you, go to another one, you know. And also, I try to find like a spot where there's all a bunch of like good restaurants instead of like chains. No offense to the chain restaurants or anything like that. Just people tend not to tip as well for like the McDonald's orders as they would for like a private restaurant. Maybe the meals cost more or something like that. So I try to find spots that are like got a bunch of sushi restaurants around because people tip good during that. And so they want good food, you find the good food spots and you get paid better and it's well worth your time. So go to those areas and try different spots out and see what works best for you. Because what works best for me might not always work best for you, you know? So give it all a try. I definitely think that Uber Eats is worth it and worth a try. I like their map the best. I think that they have the best customer support. If you've got a problem, you can just hit the support button and, you know, press call support and you'll be on the phone with somebody if you're in the middle of an order, you know, and something happens, whether they're not there. I don't know what that's all about. Because sometimes you get to a spot and the people aren't there. You're like, dude, they ordered it, they paid for it. Where are these people, you know? So the solution for that is, because you can't just like leave with the food all of a sudden. You know, you have to give it a certain amount of time. So what I do is right when I get to a spot that I'm delivering to, I text them. There's an automatic text thing that you press the button and it says I've arrived, you know. And then I try to call them on the phone and say, hey, this is Jeff, your Uber Eats dude. I'm downstairs. Do you want to meet me down here or give me the PIN code to get upstairs, you know? And if they don't answer, then a little banner comes up and it says can't reach. Hit that and start the timer, and it will give you 8-minute timer. So you can, after the 8 minutes is up, you can cancel the order and you won't be penalized for it. Because if you just took off with the person's food, you know, you're going to get penalized, you know, because obviously that's kind of like stealing the dude's food. They paid for it and now you're just mowing it down. And so that's not kosher. So those are some things that I also do to like keep it moving. Because I don't know, at least a few times a week the people aren't there, or they might have gave you the wrong address, or it was an address that was on their account and they moved, you know. And sometimes that will also happen too. They'll call you up and say, oh, I'm not really at that address, I'm actually at another one. Well, I don't just ride right over there. I call the support up and I say, hey, the person isn't there, they ordered the food and they're at a different address. And they'll map it out and they'll usually pay you double the order or another charge for going to the other spot, because it could be a couple miles, and the customer seems to always say, oh, it's just right around the corner, you know what I'm saying? And it's not. It's usually way out there and you're having to ride or walk way far to get it. So make sure that it's worth your time, and you call the support and then they'll give you a little bit extra, and then you start your delivery to where they're really at, and then you meet them. And then hopefully they tip you a little bit better because you had to go out of your way. But, and the other thing is sometimes people say, what do you think is better, Uber Eats or DoorDash? I've done them both, and I like Uber Eats a little bit better, you know. The reason I like it, one is for the map, two is for the easy accessibility to the customer support. You can get in touch with somebody super easy. It seemed to be when I was doing the DoorDash, I was having some certain problems. And also with the DoorDash, they send you a card, and then you give them the card at the restaurant and it charges it, which is not like a big deal or anything like that. But with Uber Eats, the order is already paid for. You can just go right in there, say your name. They have a picture on the app on their end of what you look like. It's usually like super simple. So I try to make it as easy as possible for me to be able to just go into the restaurant, ask for the food, or nowadays they have a table a lot of times where they'll have like all the delivery services, Caviar, Uber Eats, DoorDash, and then some maybe personal ones that are in the cities that an entrepreneur started. So people like the hands-free thing, you know, so they're not having to be in contact with anybody because of the pandemic again, you know. It changed a lot of the ways that we do deliveries and the way things are done now, you know. So try to be respectful of people too. If there's a mask thing going on in your town or your city, just wear the mask when you're going into the restaurant or you're dropping off to the customer. Because if you don't have a mask on when you're going into the restaurant to pick up your food, they'll sometimes kick you right out and won't give you the order, and you'll be like, dude, I got it in the car, let me go grab it. Some of them are really strict and are like, no, send another driver. And that's happened to me a few times because I either had it pulled down around my neck, or, you know, who knows what, it was in my pocket or in my bag and I just didn't have it on, just starting off the day. And so now I try to always have it around my neck so I can just pull it up and then they'll be cool. And the same with the customer. You want them to feel comfortable. Even if they don't have the mask on, you still want to have it on because they're going to rate how their experience was with you. I mean, nowadays, everything is about reviews, thumbs ups, you know, and that's what kind of keeps your job and makes you a better I guess, personal contractor or subcontractor with Uber Eats. You want to have good ratings. If you don't have good ratings and you start getting thumbs down, eventually they'll kick you off the app. So be aware of that and be cool with them wherever you're going. And I think that a lot of people will really enjoy this once they get the hang of it, you know. But a lot of people don't believe that you can make that much money. I remember when I first started and I was doing the walker and doing the bicycle, I couldn't get past 35 bucks, 45 bucks, you know. One, because I wasn't quite conditioned for the riding or the walking that much. And so other people would tell me, they'd be like, oh, I made $100. I'd be like, dude, no, you didn't make $100. How did you do that? You know, I mean, I thought it was nearly impossible. And then now, here I am telling you can make $1,100 in the week, sometimes even $500 in the day if you're a real go-getter and really working hard. You got to put those hours in. Again, though, that's how you get that, you know. So sign up with Uber, give it a try, let me know what you think, and yeah, thanks for your time, and I totally appreciate you guys. Peace.